Emil Andrea through the middle of the ice and does not get touched by Holtz, and an icing call against Sweedin.
Congratulations,
there's the goal scorer. Played the tournament last year, didn't get a lot of prime time offensive opportunities, specifically on the power play. If you give him chances, he can take advantage.
Plays for the Barrie Colts. Holtz and Grants, the assist from the power play goal that has Sweedin up by 1. Passion at the line, bounces around, gets played down in deep. Jutnev takes a bump on the far side, shot from Passion from the high slot, just inside the line. That gets turned away by Volstad. Bounces to the blue line, kept in. And rushed right back in on the attack, Jutnev. Passion was working his way into the front of the net area. Passion will take the drop pass. He tried to send that pass down low. He's looking for Kuznetsov. And now Russia will start a change as Andrea will take it behind his own net.
No, nice little try, trying to hit the tape there, but even if you get the puck below the goal line, you turn around the Swedish defenders. Kuznetsov doesn't need a lot of time or space to make good plays.
Daniel Thorgerson at center will deflect it in. Puck is cleared off the sideboards and back in for Daniel Ura. Shevchenko. And this will get cleared up at center, and Sweedin off the boards and in, but on his own side of center was Thorgerson, so icing will be called against Sweedin.
There's your goal scorer once again. Drafted by the Colorado Avalanche, and interestingly enough for me, Dennis, when I looked at a comparable type when he was going into his draft, I thought he had some similarities to Mikko Rantanen, and he gets drafted by Colorado. They get even a lowercase Mikko Rantanen, and I think they'll be pretty happy.
Rantanen can flat out score. Lud through center, sends it in. And again, they're going to say he was on his own side of center as they guard that center ice red line closely. Icing will be the call.
A lot of icing.
I think Sweedin felt they got to the red line that time, but face off back to the right of Volstad, a Minnesota draft pick. Last medal for Sweedin, a bronze back in 2020. Russia finished 4th last year. Russia has never gone back-to-back at the World Junior Championship without a medal. Here's a long shot. And off the left pad of Volstad. Looked like that would give him a little bit more trouble than he expected.
Well, Kuznetsov just throws the puck at the pads, and now it creates the scoring chance.
Hitchcock will send it in. Hitchcock goes in after it. A little bit of a bump, forces a turnover. Svechkov. And getting a piece of Svechkov there was Ekmark with the right shoulder. Cleared back in. Ebak goes in after it. Played around the boards. Sent back by Eklund. Olsen at the right point trying to play it deep. Olsen back out. And now he'll give chase, but Mohamedulin will play it cross ice, and Russia with the easy out. To the line, no further. Olsen breaks it up. Eklund deflects it with his skate. Andrea, the Philadelphia pick for Olsen. He'll send it back for Eklund. Eklund gets tied up in behind the net by Kursanov. Comes back to the blue line. Andrea plays it cross ice. Quick shot from the right side there by Forskjall. Forskjall on it again, trying to chip it down low, but just too much traffic on that far side. It hit Fedor Svechkov. Chibrikov trying to play it out, and he'll get a little bit of help there. And Tankov will wind his way to the line and in. Passion staying on side on the near side. Now gives chase into the Swedish zone, but Alexander Holtz is on the loose puck. On for Olsen. And he'll get to the red line, send it in. That'll signal a line change. Youngman is in on the forecheck for Sweedin, but cleared out through center. Jamming his way was Jutnev. He gave way inside the line, and Lug will play it back into his own end. Nystrom, long slip shot, Iskarov will glove it down. It's played along the boards, but Steinman intercepts. Stekestad after it and behind the net, comes up with it. He'll dish it back at the blue line. Grant's trying to find some room, nothing doing on that right side. He'll dish it off. 1-0 Sweden here on a power play marker. Wrist shot from the high slot by Stekestad. Punched away and cleared out through center. Okay, Stekestad on it again. Gets up, plays it in, goes down again, and now gets tied up. The stick was all wrapped up. He'll just leave it. And he'll make his way back to the Swedish bench. Meanwhile, all the way back in behind the play, Savikov was trying to get it out of his stick. Right of Iskarov. Goaltending was supposed to be a strong point for Russia. All of a sudden, there are some question marks about the Russian goaltending.
There's only one way to answer those questions, is to perform at a good level. And
Zevchenko trying to send this back down low, chops it into the Swedish zone. Late offside against Russia, but they will clear. Holds in across the line, gets away from him. And this will be controlled. Kuznetsov trying to clear, lost in front. Iskarov, big save, and got in behind him. And it got cleared off the goal line before it brought across as Mohamedulin may have stopped that one from making its way into the Russian net.
Kuznetsov makes a terrible play, and this is the wrong guy to have the puck with that much room and space in front of Iskarov, and Iskarov makes a real good save. It kind of slips between the legs, and Mohamedulin is right there, but Eklund knows how to take advantage. Not a good play by Kuznetsov in any way, shape, or form.
Big hit as Demidov stepped into Edvinsson. Edvinsson snaps this up the middle, in across the line. Niederbach with the wicked wrist shot that we saw in last year's championship, and he ripped that one wide. Theodor Niederbach, 2 goals last year, Detroit pick. Kirsanov will wind this up. Kirill Kirsanov to center, and then just simply ran into too many Swedish jerseys.
The Swedes look like they're in sync. It's like with the puck, without the puck, trying to open up the Russians and getting some chances with their pressure and with their puck play.
Andrea banks it off the boards. Magnusson tried to track that down, but center ice could not. Tankov will send it back in. Now played cross ice and taken by Zion Divak. He got squeezed out. Andrea got tied up in the corner in behind the net. Andrea will flip this up at center. Goes off the glove of Grudinin, and this will be a glove pass, and we'll get a stoppage. Power play goal here in the opening period. Sweden up by 1. Russian players here at the World Junior Championship. We talked about Michkov. He's in pretty good company.
Yeah, I would say that you're looking at all Hall of Famers. I know McGillney isn't there yet, but he should be in my view.
He's got a goal record to chase down first. Sweden back in on the attack. Blue waiting for it as he crept in from the line, but the pass was intercepted by Passion. Lead pass up the middle. Backhand tie, and Volstad makes the save, and he will hang on to it for a faceoff.
Well, we're talking about the efficiency of the Swedes in terms of puck play. Well, this is good, efficient exit from your zone and in on the attack. And Dennis, it still amazes me. I've watched the Tutenov for a few years now. I'm still shocked that he isn't drafted because he's got skill, he can score, he's got real ability.
Boy, it looked like there was some room there for Tutenov. And then Volstad got that arm back in time.
He did, and he sneaked a little peek over that shoulder.
Although in that spot, you should be able to feel it, but you're never 100% sure with the equipment that they wear now. Edmondson, nice little spin pass. Bouncing puck up through the middle as Ekmark tried to feed that ahead. Grons will chase this back into his own zone. And Grons will get bumped in the corner boards of Ledjev. Now played all the way back into the Russian zone. Off the boards, Novikov. His pass was intercepted. Eklund right back in. Novikov chasing him down. Olofsson trying to handle it in the corner. But Russia up with it, banked off the boards. Kuzmadinov plays it into the Swedish zone. Knocked away from him. Andrea gets some help down low from Alexander Holtz. Holtz will lift a backhander cross ice. It stays in the park. And Russia will control. Under 6 to go here in period number 1. The Wilker Sanok chased back in by Eklund. He'll dish it off. Beachkoff with a little delay. Kuzmadinov gets to center and sends a backhander deep. Volstad will play it. Andrea for Sweden will send it for Olsson. Back for Andre Andrea. Philadelphia pick. Up for Thorgensen. He'll deflect it in. Race towards the front of the Russian net, but Igor Savakov got there first. Beachkoff drops his back. Slap shot from the high slot. That failed to get through. A one-timer attempt there by Tankov. Turned over in front of the net, and Tankov with another opportunity. Chibrikov trying to get the handle on that loose puck. That backhander went off his stick and wide. Lund puts on the brakes and settles things down here for Sweden. Rudinin tried to flip it out of his own zone. Stakastad knocked it down. Kept it at the line by Steinman. Cross ice pass. And a shot by Grands, and that was stopped.
Great save by Askarov now. Trying to go short side again was Helga Grands, but Askarov makes a really strong push to the position and a great stop.
Oeke Stakastad just let a long wrister go. That seemed to give Askarov some trouble. Steinman at the line at center, and that got turned over. Glove pass, and now things get a little heated between the two benches. They'll sort it out. Stay with us.
Talking about Askarov and a couple of short side posts and a goal, but this is a really good save up on that left shoulder. Helga Grant says, hey, we scored there. We hit a post. I'm going to try it again.
Third World Junior Championship for Yaroslav Askarov. The first-round pick of the Nashville Predators was in Ostrava. Been in the bubble in Edmonton last year with no fans, 50% attendance at this year's World Championship. Perhaps that'll change before the gold medal gets presented in January. Perhaps it won't.
Well, you talk about Askarov too. I mean, when you're 17 years old in the tournament, there's a lot more forgiveness.
Edmondson from the line, the shot never got through. Titov shot, left pad save made by Askarov. Another shot that went wide. And now cleared back to Dec. We'll track this down. Dec looking for Edmondson, ends up on Edmondson's stick as it comes off the stick of Mohamedulin. Askarov will play it. Eklund trying to track it down. Eklund gets pressured by Michkov. Comes back at the line. Edmondson towards the front of the net. Got blocked. Kuzmadinov will start back for Russia. Cross ice pass comes off the sideboards. Kuzmadinov trying to make a play. Cool, calm, and collected. Edmondson is on it.
Yeah, that's a great word for him. Cool, calm, and collected, and he is.
6'4", just under 200.
He's so good at sizing up his options and then making a play. He just never seems to be under any type of duress.
Demidov plays it back into his own end, heads to the bench on the chain. Chibrikov will take a bump and get it in. Nystrom. Joel Nystrom gets tied up in the corner. After a loose puck on the forecheck with Svechkov. And Niederbach will come up with it. Number 5 in faceoffs at the World Junior Championship last year was Theodore Niederbach. This will get sent in. And Nystrom will play it up the boards. Niederbach trying to track it down. Couldn't. Shoveled into the middle of the ice, but beyond the reach of Peter Petchkot. And this will get cleared back into the Swedish zone, and Olsen will play it cross ice and then get it back. This will get pumped in. And Sweedin will now complete the line change. Mohamedulin got going, lost the puck. Smirnov for Russia plays a pass up the middle. Passion will deflect it cross ice. And offside called on the near side as Guslistov got in ahead of the play. 1-0 here in Red Deer. Sweden with the lead. Last 5 appearances. 4th place finish in Edmonton last year. A silver in the Czech Republic. And as we mentioned, Russia has never gone back-to-back without a medal at the World Junior Championship. Got off to a good start last year with a 5-3 win over the United States. And then lost to Czechia by a score of 2-0. Then went on a bit of a run. Askarov down. Stekastad trying to center it. Stekastad looking for Stamen. It comes off the stick and carries back into the final minute here, period number 1. And a power play goal from Olsson, Oscar Olsson, as Sweden in front 1-0 in Riga. The long pass up the middle. Getting squeezed out at center with Zion Nieback.
I think Sergei Zubov really telling his players between periods, we've got to stop passing the puck through the middle of the ice in our own zone.
Some things never change with Sweden. Nieback will play this back in deep. Smirnov is on it for Russia. Banks it out at center. And now Smirnov follows up. Tried to dump that into the middle of the ice. Sharp angle chance there comes from the left side from Yurov. Back to the blue line, to the front of the net. Scramble for a loose puck. Yurov couldn't find it. And now a little more rough stuff. And Simon Edmondson is in the middle of it.
Now what? Wallstead in the corner. Yeah, it's competitive, Dennis. It's only the first period, but these players have played against each other lots growing up, so they know each other very well. What's that about familiarity breeds contempt? We're seeing that.
It's game 1. But it's head-to-head against 2 of the top teams here in Group B, and those head-to-head meetings mean so much. Sweden with a power play marker has a 1-0 lead here on TSN.
It's brought to you by Verbo. Just 1 goal on the board. Olsson coming on the power play in the early goings of the period. Shot 6-4 advantage Sweden, although it felt like there were a lot more shots in that period. It was entertaining, and we're hoping for the same here in the second. So without further ado, let's get it back to Dennis and Craig, who have the call here in Red Deer.
Laura, a key part of those stats face-off, Sweden dominated in that category. And speaking of Sweden, you saw him in Texas this summer. He's up to the big group now. Simon Edmondson, what have you seen in him in this opening period?
How about calm, cool, collected? I'm stealing your words, Dennis. That's how you described it. I mean, he's just got an ability to know and understand what his options are. And he doesn't panic. A little quick turn, now the puck comes out on the backhand, and now you're out of your zone. Watch him do the similar thing here on the forehand. Just a little turn, oh, he knows where the outlet is, and out you go. I mean, when you try to forecheck players like Simon Edmondson, those types of defensemen, it can be incredibly frustrating because you think you have them in a spot where they're trapped. They're never trapped, Dennis. And, you know, we've been talking about Sergei Zubov, the Hall of Famer, and Simon Edmondson, who's drafted by the Red Wings, and we can't talk about the Red Wings without talking about the great Nicholas Lidstrom, right? But, I mean, you look at a blue line of Simon Edmondson and Moritz Seider. I mean, I can tell you what, Steve Yzerman should have one big smile from ear to ear thinking about those 2 guys patrolling the blue line for a long time.
So the second period about to get going. William Eklund won 4 of 5 faceoffs in that opening period. Daniel Ljungman for Sweden won 4 of the 4 that he took, and thus the very favorable face-off percentages in favor of Team Sweden after that opening 20 minutes of play. Second period underway. Mohamedoulan will play this back into his own end. Kuznetsov gets it to center. Michkov will deflect it in. Kuznetsov going in after it, plays it around Demidov. Smirnov at the line, back for Demidov. It got away from him, gets it back. Michkov will take the pass from Kuznetsov to the line. It comes Mohamedoulan cross ice, and Smirnov. And that stick shatters. What if the dry air got to those sticks? Because the Russian team snapped about 5 of them in the warm-up coming into this game. Smirnov on the attempted one-timer there. The 2 pieces in his hand.
If they were wood, I might buy it, but true. These are all composite.
Yeah.
It's supposed to withstand the dry air.
Edmondson protects the puck. Gets the pass up the middle, and you can hear the bench yelling for Olsson to get his head up. Tankov. He'll get rubbed out, and Eklund will start back for Sweden. Edmondson long lead pass. Olsson puts on the brakes, turns to try and find a little bit of space. Good checking of Kursanov. Aaron pass ends up at the line. Andrea gets it to the front of the net. Bouncing puck. Off a skate, dangerously to the front of the Russian net. This gets played. Albert Querholm will try to get that back to the front of the net, but Russia looking for a line change will just clear. Bouncing puck up at center ice. Ljungman will play this in. Albert Wehrberg is after it. It comes off the backboards to the side of the net, and Askarov will hang on.
Well, Sweden is coming to this tournament as a favorite in a number of the tournaments. 2018, great gold medal game. Tyler Steenbergen with the winning goal late to upset their chances again. They're always in the hunt. They always, in the last 10, 12 years, they've been in that hunt. And this year feels a little different. Not that they're not in the hunt, but they're not like this favorite that, like, hey, you know, gold or bust. And sometimes I wonder if it just kind of becomes just kind of settling for the players. They don't have to answer the questions about the undefeated streak or not winning a gold medal.
And you're right, that was the story coming into so many of the tournaments, was the streak that they had going in the round robin until in Game 3 last year they lost in overtime to Russia. Even in that game, they tied it up late to force the extra time, and then Russia with the power play marker in overtime to end that streak at 54. Askarov will dish it off. Smirnov banks it off the boards. Out to center and no further. And the Philadelphia drop pick, Andrea. That's the long wrist shot go. That goes wide. Sweden starting a change. Gets batted off the boards out to center. Nyström gets bumped off the puck. Kuznetsov trying to work it back into the Swedish zone. Gets some help from Demidov. And Demidov will play it back, and Smirnov will bank it to the Swedish line. No further. Andrea will roll this back into the Russian zone, and it will have enough to get across the icing line.
This was last year, and here it is in overtime, and Kuznetsov right in front of the net, and Wallstedt looks skyward. But, you know, so much has been made about the Swedes not winning the gold, but for years they came in and gave themselves every chance to compete for the gold, and it's different players every year.
Well, maybe it's an omen. Their last gold was here in Alberta. Chance on the short side, Demidov. And Wallstedt got the blocker in front of that. Niebeck will skate this out, chips it in, and he'll chase this into the Russian zone. Kuznetsov. in the foot race with him. Nieback wins it, but then Nieback's pass back to the line. Demidov picks it off, and then his pass is picked off. The stepping up to break it up was Edmondson. He'll control it, takes a look, puts a backhander through traffic. Edmondson with a shot, another save, and not a good one there by Askarov. What a shift here for Edmondson. And Grant's back, but icing called here against Russia.
Okay, get used to saying that. What a shift here by Edmondson. Get used to it. This is an unbelievable play. I mean, steps in, calm again, turns, and then watch this backhand pass. Right on the tape, and then he gets himself coming right back open again, and Askarov has to make an outstanding save.
Boy, Red Wings have to like what they're seeing here in the early going of this 2022 World Junior Championship from him. Alexander Holt tried to rip that one right off the face-off, but it got away from him. Demidov goes cross ice. Michkov banks it off the board. Michkov goes in. He's looking for the far side, and that just goes wide of Jesper Falstad. Ponomarayev was open on the near side, but there wasn't a passing lane to get that puck through. In across for Holtz, tried to feed that back in front of the net for Eklund. Olsson chasing it on the far side, jammed to the blue line, but not out. Right back in, Gudinin for Passion. Passion got pressured at the line by Olsson. Savikov will follow in. Ponomarayev had a chance down low and had the puck get away from him. Passion on it again. Passion to the short side. Falstad, a couple of saves. Andrea stripped of the puck by Passion. He'll play it back at the line. Gudinin near side takes it. Takes it off the sideboard, spins it back in behind the net. Trying to trap it back there was Tyutnev, but it's cleared, and Askarov will have to play this. And he'll play it there for Gudinin. Long pass up the middle. Tankov hits the line. He can rip it. And he puts that one into the left shin pad of Olsson. Tankov on it again. Tankov. Leave it for Chibrikov. Chibrikov trying to spin away from some traffic. Puts it to the side of the net. Stakastad's pass ended up nowhere. Chibrikov back in. Little chip play from a sharp angle. Chibrikov, the Winnipeg pick, has it again. And now Sweedin content to play it around the boards and out the center, Mohamedulin. Back up, and this will get played in. Zolodyev sends it cross ice deep into the Swedish zone. And now back around the boards, and Novikov will go back forward. And that was not touched on the far side, and an icing call coming against Russia.
Matvei Michkov's always thinking about scoring. He tries to get his hands around the puck quickly, always trying to put the goaltender back on their heels, and thinking offense, thinking scoring, how to open up a goaltender. Got the hands and the mind to be able to take full advantage of any opportunity that comes his way.
Has spent some time in the KHL with SKA, St. Petersburg, and that's another side story that we'll get to before this tournament is out. That long-term contract that he has signed and what that might do come the draft. Played back into the corner. Torgerson trying to tie his man up. Eastrom in there as well. Niederbach had to get away from him. In from the line, Novikov. 6'3" and just under 200 pounds for Novikov. Michkov has it. Michkov trying to drag it around Torgerson. Michkov dishes it to the far corner. This will get Listov free. And now Nystrom is up with it, and Nystrom trying to clear the disco clean out. If it did, it will be a delay of game penalty. And it is power play Russia when we come back. The disco clean out. If it did, it will be a delay of game penalty. And it is power play Russia when we come back.
The old Nystrom who takes the puck, and there it is, puck over glass. Still a #1 hit on TSN. Lester McLean, the person who wrote that song. That's my Christmas shout out to Lester. Just a brilliant musician, wonderful person.
Some things just lend themselves to the song.
Team Sweedin penalty number 26.
Mohamedoulan cross ice, the one-timer, and a good save there as Michkov unloaded and Volstad makes the save.
So I talked earlier on the goal by Sweedin, how quickly Holtz snapped that puck over to Olsen. Well, this puck takes a lot of distance and it doesn't get over there fast enough. And as Michkov is drifting a little bit, that's an easy save for Volstad.
Talk about new players every year in this championship and how cyclical it is. Sweden's penalty kill in Ostrava was #1 in the tournament. Last year it dipped to #9 back in Ostrava and Trinich. David Gustafsson was so good in the faceoffs that they started with the puck so often. So now up with the Winnipeg Jets, banged up right before the Christmas break. Volstad mishandled, in comes Edmondson, scores! Simon Edmondson shorthanded. And a 2-0 lead for Sweden.
Well, I know one thing. When Simon Edmondson had the open ice, nobody was catching him. And we saw earlier in the game with Eklund that the puck squirted through Askarov's legs. Well, this one went through the legs and over the goal line. And the pressure, the presence of mind, and the finish. And a great acknowledgement at the end of this goal coming right up to the Swedish fans. There it is. Great contingent of Swedish fans here. A terrific play. Power play shorthanded.
Russia's power play in last year's tournament ran at 26.6%. And right now -1 here in the first opportunity at this World Championship. Jipnev will play this around the boards. And Forstjall will clear it around, but play does get whistled down. Faceoff will stay in the Swedish zone as the net comes off the peg.
And Edmondson, he's assertive, right? He makes the play defensively, but he doesn't just stop there. He continues on. And then because he's such an outstanding skater, he's going to recognize that if he can't get there, here's the pressure, and there's no stopping there. He's not thinking, oh, I better get back and play defense. I'm going to score one, and it's exactly what he does.
Number 6 overall in the 2021 draft. Plays in Frölunda. Stay in the Sweden. And has Sweden in front 2-0.
Stanley Cups, playing with some pretty good defensemen. One of them was named Bork. Zubov was another one, and he played against Lidstrom. And let's get Dave to talk about how hard it was to play against those defensemen, because they were able to make an impact in so many ways.
Short-headed goal for Team Sweedin.
Continues now
By number 7,
for Russia. Another face-off win for Sweden. They have dominated the face-offs so far in this game this afternoon.
Simon Edmondson.
Dennis Bayak, Craig Button, Laura Dyken, Dave Reed, the rest of our TSN crew here in Red Deer for the 2022 World Junior Hockey Championship. This gets spun around the boards, and Alexander Pashin will chase back into his own end.
Good defenseman, dude. You know how fast the game is. And
Pashin busting in, sharp angle, backhander ran out of room. Timosov to the short side high, and Volstad makes the save. Puck cleared to the corner boards. Jipton had to get away from him. Jipton giving chase, and Torgerson will send it all the way down the ice.
just finishing that thought, you know how fast the game is. And defensemen like Edmondson, it seems the game's in slow motion for them. It's just so settled. And we know that the game is fast, and yet they never seem to be in any type of a rush.
At equal strength.
One shot on that power play for Russia. So Sweden comes out of it with a shorthanded tally. Lou will carry it in. Plays his back around the boards. Eastern waiting for it at the line. Never did get to him. Some contact at the line. As Doljev got bumped on the near side wall. Rudinin in from the line, spins a backhander back in behind the net. Dmitry Doljev pinned to the corner boards. He'll get a little bit of help there from Urov. Comes back at the line. Svechkov for Rudinin. Rudinin plays it into the corner. Comes back for Rudinin. And through some traffic, not sure that got the Volstad or not. But out of the pile. And Drea comes up with it, and he'll bounce this in. Shortstop, you'll glove it and drop it. Well, I guess you don't have very many southpaw shortstops. Although I played with one in fastball.
Did you?
Yep. He was really good, too. And Volstad's going to hang on to that. And again, a little bit more of the rough stuff. 2-0 Sweden here in the second. Russia down a couple, and Russia will host next year in Novosibirsk and Omsk. And we look forward to that. You been to either of those places?
I've been to Novosibirsk. I was there in May, though. I wasn't there in December or January. I think it's a little bit different temperature between those months.
Not sure what you mean. We were in Ufa back when I was at 13. It's chilly here in Red Deer and Edmonton as well. We've had some cold World Junior Championships, the one way back in Saskatoon. Mohamedulin carries in. Quick wrist shot. And a good save by Jesper Volstad. And he'll hang on to it.
And Volstad just steady there. Like, you know, you look at the feet, right? He's not busy in his feet. He's in good positioning. And Mohamedulin, trying to test him there, but tidy in front of the net, cleans it right up. And
New Jersey first-round pick Mohamedulin, and Volstad with the solid stop. And Volstad expected to carry the bulk of the load here at this World Championship for Sweden. There's going to be another icing call here.
And when you talk about a team that, you know, power play, they get a goal, they get a real nice short-handed goal by Edmondson. But when you have a goaltender like Volstad, like, you know, you can settle in. You know you can play in a low-scoring game, a tight game, because he's not one that's going to, you know, give one up that's going to get you chasing a game. He's just so steady, consistent, solid.
So good at the U18 that was played in Sweden when they captured gold and home soil. Round the boards it comes, and jammed out through center, and Tankov, pressure coming, just sends it all the way down the ice.
It's Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup season, and we want to see your...
Help us make the game we love more inclusive. Submit your game-changing good deeds today at ChevroletGoodDeedsCup.ca.
Canada, Czech Republic yet to go in Edmonton. Later today, United States, the defending gold medalist against Slovakia, our second game here. Russia will have it back in action tomorrow. Russia will play Switzerland tomorrow, where Switzerland will make its debut a day later than everyone else. Jansen cut Niederbach with the save, and Rosine with the rebound, and Askarov with a couple of chances against him there. Edmondson on for Grants, and back for Edmondson. Niederbach hits the line. Niederbach, big one-way, swings it the other. Rosine, and a right pad save made by Askarov. Tutnev carries it across the line. Tutnev to the front of the net. Ponomarev trying to get a stick on that for a deflection. His stick was all tied up. And Elga Grands will play this on for Edmondson. Edmondson didn't like what he sees, tight turds, and now sees three red jerseys coming at him, so just unloads. Tutnev back in, Richter, that's off the glass. Eklund is on it, and Eklund gets taken down in his own end of the ice, and a power play coming for Sweden.
Offensive zone penalty when you're down 2 goals. That's a tough one. For anybody to stomach. You know, you get the stick in on the hands there, you're in trouble when you start that. I think Askarov has been real solid here. He's been challenged in a couple of different ways. You know, Edvinsson, before he scored, had that great opportunity in the offensive zone, but he's really reading the play and getting out and keeping that solid positioning. We're going to need him here.
Second power play of the game for Sweden. Holtz. Bang pass off the boards. It did get the Grands at the line. He'll get it back to Holtz. Askarov makes the saves. Holtz can rip it.
And Holtz looking for an opening. I mean, Holtz knows Askarov. Askarov knows Holtz exceptionally well. Holtz is just trying to look in here to see if he can find an opening, but there's Askarov. Really good, steady, cleans it up in front of him. No rebound. That's what you want to see.
Another face-off win for Sweden. Grands for Holtz. Cross ice. Olsen back for Grands. Lets the slap shot go wide. Holtz cracks it down off the far side wall. Holtz backdoor play, and that just did get deflected away. Mohamedulin got a piece of it. Olsen will play it back down low. Novikov pressures to the corner, and a cross ice pass deflected.
Again, you should talk about Mohamedulin and Novikov. That's a lot of length there. So trying to make those plays across the ice against those defensemen is very difficult.
Olsen will play it back into his own end. Eklund looking for some room. Plays it up the middle. And jumping up. Kirill Kirsanov jumps up and breaks the play up at center. It's cleared back in behind the net. Taken by Grands, on for Holtz. He'll play it quickly across ice. Olsen dishes it out. Back up top for Holtz, and second time in this game that he's fanned on an attempted wrist shot. And now another penalty coming up to Russia, as Kuznetsov will go to the box on the trip, and it'll be a 5-on-3 for 43 seconds.
Again, getting the stick inside the legs there. Just trouble all the way through in 43 seconds with a 2-man advantage for Sweden. We talked about how Mohamedulin and Novikov with that length, while one less player opens up more space for Sweden.
And Mohamedulin out there now. Kuznetsov will take the face-off. Smirnov, the other defender out there for Russia. 43 seconds on the 5-on-3 for Sweden. Stakastad plays it back for Grands. He'll get it back down to the goal line. Stakastad will control. Back for Grands. Grands goes cross ice. And Andrea scores! Emil Andrea had some time, took a look. And a twisted wrister past Askarov, and it's 3-0.
2 stick penalties, one in the offensive zone, then by the captain, and Grands and Andrea just do a little switch here, and there's enough opportunity here. You can see Askarov trying to find the puck. Looks like he collapses there. I'd like to see the goaltender, you know, fight to get to that position. He's a big goaltender, even trying to look over it, find the puck, don't get into a collapsed position, because as he collapsed, the net opened up. And Andrea, super captain.
Okay, Stakastad right in the eyes of Askarov. So a penalty kill that was so good last. Okay, Stakastad right in the eyes of Askarov. So a penalty kill that was so good last year for Russia, struggling right now here in the early going.
But that's as a goaltender, though, Dennis. You can't just get into a collapsed state. You gotta really fight. You can see what's there, and he doesn't fight enough with his eyes, and he collapses, and there's the opening there. And I do believe that's developmental. This isn't something that
for tripping at 30.
Volstad the save, and the puck was loose for a split second, so a shorthanded try
It was not enough.
for Russia, and Volstad's going to hang on to it as Demidov had the opportunity.
And just quickly back to Askarov, like, you know, give yourself a chance. I know you're being screened. I know there's a distraction there, but give yourself the chance. You know, that's part of development.
Rands and Eklund, the assists on the power play goal. Russia's penalty kill last year, they killed 18 of 20 for 90%, which was number 1 in the World Junior Championship. They have allowed 2 power play goals in this game. It's still shorthanded here. Bounces off the boards. Rilker Sanov pressured on the line. Rosine drops it back. Andrea with another shot kicked away by Askarov. And Stakastad was there for a loose puck, but then it cleared away from him. Sharp angle try. Stakastad bangs away at it. Andrea with the shot. Traffic in front. Is down in the crease area was Youngman. Rosine pulls it off the wall, off the skate. Held in at the line by Andrea. Back for Rosine. And Rosine looking glove side, ripped it wide. Nystrom. Knocked up top. Andrea. Rosine. And that's into the skates of the Russian defender. Blocking out was Kursanov. Kursanov on it again. Kirill Kursanov spins and fires it down the ice. And that should do it. Maybe time for one more rush. Grams will settle it down. Standing in the penalty box and now making his way out is Milan Kuzminov. Svechkov for Russia, trying to find a little bit of space into the final 4 minutes of period number 2. So Russia back at it tomorrow against Switzerland, and Sweden back at it tomorrow against Slovakia. Slovakia will take on the United States. The power rankings coming into this tournament have the United States as the favorite. Try and defend. Scramble around Volstad. Scores! This one may have been put into his own net by Edmondson. Trying to clear it, and we have an injured Russian player in the corner.
The injured Russian player looks like it's Nikita Chibrikov, but it's a good play by Fedor Svechkov because he pulls the puck from the goal line into the net area, into the crease area. Here's the play as it's developing. Play goes there, and there you can see the stick by Grams catches Chibrikov. There's the stick right here that comes around on Chibrikov, but there's Svechkov who pulls the puck back he into that net area, and he gets the fortuitous bounce off of Edmondson's leg. But the officials are talking about this, trying to see if they saw anything.
Fedor Svechkov, a Nashville pick. And Chibrikov getting some attention at the bench. And I think they are going to call so Svechkov gets the goal. Chibrikov and Tankov will pick up the assists as Volstad can't handle it cleanly, and then it goes off Edmondson right there.
High stick at the lower part of your screen by Grans on Chibrikov. Zubov, too, really astute there. After that penalty kill, he made sure that he got Svechkov and Chibrikov right out there following the penalty kill. He's trying to get a chance with some offensive energy. Pays off with a goal.
Volstad down on the short side as Zinchenko tried to jam that one in, but it's cleared up at center. And in, race for it on the far side. They're home, trying to carry that one through. Back to the blue line, Lou. Plays it around the boards, Andrea. Drops Puts it back at the line, and the linesman will say that this does come out. And brought back in offside is called. 3-1 as Russia gets on the board. Canada's quest for gold at the 2022 World Junior Championship continues next as Canada will take on Czechia, and that will be coming live from Edmonton. Gord Miller, Ray Ferraro will have the call only here on TSN. Future of hockey lives here. Along the boards down in front of the Swedish bench. Sweden with a 3-1 lead. Passion for Tutnev. Tutnev had to get away from him. Back up through center and pressured there through the middle of the ice. Ponomaria down for Smirnov. Smirnov will take it in behind his own net, try and skate his way out of trouble. Puts it up the boards. Edmondson breaks it up. And then back into the Swedish zone where Helga Grands will play it. Rosine plays it back into his own end. Edmondson. And Edmondson will get pressured there by Ponomaria. Long pass. Holtz gets to the line. Holtz, or rather Niederbacher on that far side. Now carried in. Michkov drops it back. Slap shot by Demidev, and that went wide. High slot area that deflected in front and just missed. And now banks off the boards and out to center ice it goes.
And Wallstedt have to be sharp there, because if he's not sharp with his body, Mishkov's trying to maybe perhaps get a bank off of him there.
Kursanov gets chased back into his own end. Nice outlet pass by Kursanov. Lead pass, some move up the middle. Kuznetsov trying to bust his way through. And cleared back around the boards, and this will go for an icing call as Vladimir Grudinin made sure that got across the icing line before he got it.
There's Loof there just making a real good play along with Edmondson. You think you have all that space in front of you and you can see all that real estate. Then you have the outstanding skating Edmondson just shutting you right down. And the other thing about Edmondson, Dennis, it looks like he could play 45 minutes in a game, too. There's an efficiency that's incredible.
And there may be games in this tournament where he may...
1 minute left in the second period.
In the final minute here of period number 2. A 1-goal lead for Sweden after 1. They've jumped out to a 3-0 lead before Russia got back on the board. Svechkov from Jabrikov and Tankov. And now Edmondson may have caught an errant stick. Svechkov will drop it back. Yurov goes cross ice and then jumps into the box on the line change. Jabrikov, who was shaken up, goes to the near post, looking for a little bit of a deflection. Cleared back out at center, and Tankov winds it right back into the Swedish zone, dumps it off for Svechkov. Svechkov back for Tankov. Tankov looking backdoor. Smirnov jumped in from the line. Kuznetsov gives it back to Jabrikov on the wraparound try. Kuznetsov on it again. Back to the line it comes, and the second period comes to an end.
Well, that goal by Russia seemed to put some wind into their sails, and they had some opportunities right in the prime scoring areas. And Jesper Wallstedt, he's going to be called upon to hold the fort, so to speak. But on to the third period we go.
Couple power play goals in the game for Sweden. And with 40 minutes gone, there was the shorthanded marker. And a 3-1 lead for Sweden.
Our second intermission scoring summary is brought to you by Canadian Tire. We complete the bingo card. We had a shorthanded goal, a power play goal, and an even strength goal as Svechkov getting the Russians on the board there in that second period. Sweden with the 3-1 lead heading into the final 20 minutes of play. So here again, Dennis and Craig with the call.
Laura, you mentioned special teams, and that has been the key. Craig Button, in the early going of this game, you said for Sweden to have success, they were going to have to get something out of their power play.
and they haven't done exactly that. But they got skill on their power play. And the first power play, they win the face-off. You talk about how important it is. But Alexander Holtz, there's a crispness to this pass. Now that gives Olesen some time to pick a spot. That's exactly what he does. And then you get to the 5-on-3, and you've got Andrea and Grants, a little switch here, and then the screen in front of the net. There's a symmetry to their power play, and super captain there with the goal. Quick hands off the screen, but really nicely done. You got to be coordinated on your power play. You got to move things quickly, and you got to time things the right way. Swedes did exactly that on both their power play goals.
Sweden has won 27 of 40 faceoffs in this game. That has been part of their success. As we look at Alexander Holtz, who loves to shoot the puck and can shoot the puck. Shot attempts after 2 periods. Russia 36, Sweden 32. And the shots on goal clock shows 17-16 in favor of Russia. Pre-tournament game, Russia fell behind early in Canada.
Change for Team Russia. Now playing in Swedan, number 29, Igor Guskov.
Guskov with a big hit on Edmondson.
Goaltending change for Russia. There's a chance in front of the net, and Volstead makes a great save off of Michkov.
Well, Michkov laid a big hit on Edmondson right off the bat here, and then reaching with that stick, and you can't leave that puck in that spot when Matvei Michkov's hanging around, but that's a solid goaltending by Jesper Volstead.
There's the 17-year-old Michkov. Igor Gushkov has come in to play goal here for Russia in the 3rd period. Volstead makes another glove save and hangs onto it.
Curious goaltending change.
Yes. The one in the pre-tournament game, you kind of looked at it like, okay, give everybody some action. And speaking of action, Demidov just gets his hands up.
And Askarov is on the bench, but certainly not a performance by Askarov that you would sit down and you would think that, like, oh, is he thinking about changing the goaltender? Do they need to make a change perhaps? Because after going down 3-0, they scored. They had some good chances. I get it that, hey, let's try to swing something into our favor, but seeing they already had scored, they had some good chances. I get it that, hey, let's try to swing something into our favor, but seeing they already had swung it into their favor.
So back at it tomorrow. We'll see who does get the start for Russia in their game against Switzerland. And then it's Slovakia after a day off. And they'll close out on the 31st against USA. That'll be the New Year's Eve feature here in Red Deer. And the Finland New Year's Eve feature in Edmonton. Canada will open up the tournament later tonight against Czechia. Back at the blue line takeoff. Puts it in behind the net. This gets intercepted. Andrea will back it out to center. And Andrea trying to spring roll scene. And play gets whistled down.
I like the way Russia started off this 3rd period. In the offensive zone, attacking the net. Chabrikov with a quick chance. Trying to establish and build what they had going at the end of that 2nd period.
Penalties have hurt them. The 1 power play goal by Sweden, their 2nd power play tally, came on a 5-on-3. Savikov for Russia is played up the board, kept in at the blue line. Lug will snap this one off the corner glass. Savikov after it again. It's cleared away from him, and Eklund will try and control. Eklund giving chase. And Grudinin will pick it up and bank it off the glass and out to center ice. Lug is back for it. Ends it on for Olesen. Olsen plays it back, but that's picked off by Urop. He'll bank it off the board. Getting hit. Louvre comes in, and then Louvre gets buried into the sideboards by Urop. After Louvre took a huge run at Sweedin. So they'll try and sort this one out.
And Urop made a beeline on Louvre. As Louvre comes there, I mean, that's just a good, solid body check. It really is. And then Urop, who came all the way from his right wing side. But Louvre comes in there, not moving. To me, there's zero issue with that body check. Now you're trying to get back in the game, and I mean, I would imagine that Urop would get the extra penalty if there is one to be given out.
2 minutes for holding.
So, I'm not quite sure.
Looks like it's going to be evened up, Dennis, if I listening to the official on the ice. Looked like he was, no. We're going to have to kill a penalty.
Well, they'll try and figure it out. Sergei Zubov's looking for an explanation.
Yeah, Urop is going to get the extra penalty. Which is what I thought was going to happen.
So a hold and a rough on Urop, and then a rough on Louvre. So this works out to a power play for Sweden, fourth power play of the afternoon for Sweden. And they have scored a couple of power play goals, and now another penalty coming to Russia. And this will be a lengthy 5-on-3. The earlier one was 43 seconds. This one is going to be a minute and a second longer than that.
It's a slash by Zladeyev. Right down on the stick. Coming back into that spot. Takes the stick right out of the hands of Niederbach.
So Sweden to work on the two-man advantage. Second two-man advantage of the game for Sweden as Russia has run itself into some penalty trouble. Okay, Stakastad will play it back at the line. Grans on for Holtz. He'll skate it into the slot area, send it back for Grans. Cross it goes.
Team Russia.
This is controlled by Andrea, back for Holtz. Alexander Holtz walks it in, fires it, he ripped that one over top the net. And now this will be grabbed at the side of the net by Gushkov, and we'll get a stoppage in play.
Well, there's some motion here with the Swedish power play. Now Grans comes off to his offside, and Andrea, but they really, not just the defenseman at the top, but they get Holtz coming up high, and Eklund's a very good player down low, and Olesen can shoot the puck, so trying to look for those openings off the flanks. A lot to think about when you're 5-on-3, killing a penalty.
Russia, of course, ended that round-robin streak that Sweden had going last year of 54 games. Took overtime to do
Russia's
it.
additional minor penalty being served by number 11.
Noel Gundler got the goal late in the third period last year, and it sent the game to overtime, and then it ended on a power play. And Sweden with the two-man advantage here.
Russia penalty to number 23.
Stakastad drops it off the sideboard. Caution comes up top for Grans. Down it goes for Holtz. Back up top for Grans. Back for Holtz. Save made by Gushkov. As he got enough of that, and it's cleared down the ice.
Good save by Gushkov, as Holtz didn't waste any time getting that off.
Grans on for Hackestad. Sackestad controls, plays it back. Andrea.
Team Russia is playing the short-handed.
Sharp angle try, that got turned aside. Grans is going to hold it in. Gets it back for Andrea. He'll get it to the goal line. Back for Holtz, scores! Alexander Holtz takes the feed from Eklund and drives it through, and another power play goal for Sweden.
You're watching Alexander Holtz. So Alexander Holtz doesn't wait for that puck to come to him. He's moving into that lane. And so when the puck comes, he's able to drive it right forward. Just a terrific play by Alexander Holtz. And after being stopped earlier, he's not going to get stopped there. Just a terrific play moving into there. Right between the arm and the body. Third power play goal of the day. Can't give that young man chances like that. Stop him once. He gets into that prime scoring area. It's tough to stop him once, let alone twice.
Third World Junior Championship for him. This ends up in the Swedish bench.
When you think about it, the game, gets settled and sometimes on the margins, but the margins for the Russians has been their lack of discipline. And, Yurov, I didn't see any reason for any type of thought process on a retaliation. Then the stick penalties, the offensive zone penalties, you talk about digging your own grave. The Russians have done a fantastic job of doing that. Now they buried themselves, essentially.
A goal and an assist for Emil Andrea. Svechkov ties it up in between the benches, heads to the bench on the change after he lost his stick. Youngman is tied up with Novikov, and here comes Edmondson, winds it in. He rips a wrister, a little chin music up on Igor Gushkov. That one over top the net.
That's on net, it's a goal, because Gushkov never saw it.
Russia now back in. Gushkov to the near side, Savakov puts it in behind the net. Olesen on the loose puck and right back up the ice for Sweden. Chips it deep. Rudinin going in after it. Michkov tried to play it up the boards. That got intercepted. Got kept in by Nieback, and now up the ice for Michkov. Michkov, nice move around Olsen. Save made, and now Michkov goes sliding into the net, and he may be drawing a cross-checking penalty, but a terrific toe drag by Michkov.
Well,
Track position, 1 hour.
Sliding into the net, and he may be drawing a cross-checking penalty, but a terrific toe drag by Michkov.
Well, he uses his hands to open up the defenseman, Olsen here, and then he uses his quickness of his feet to get into that scoring area. Pulling him down, but
yellow.
just a terrific play.
Cross-checking.
Now, when you got the hand quickness, the mind quickness, and the feet quickness, I mean, you can do a lot of things in the game, and you can exploit a lot of opportunities. His ability to open up Anton Olsen, so impressive. And there's Olsen trying to recover with the cross-check from behind that saw him go into the crease area, knock the net off.
12 goals in Texas his past spring earned him MVP honors. 12 goals, 4 assists for 16 points. And has Sergei Zubov called a timeout? No, they're going to review.
They're looking for the goal.
Yes. The puck does end up in the net, but I don't think this is going to be a goal. The net had come off the pegs. But they'll take a look at it. Robert Hennessy of Team USA, Kyle Kowalski of Canada.
I don't see a rationale for allowing a goal there.
Now, they can rule, I guess, that it was in the middle of the net, and whether the net was off or not.
But did his arm get the puck? I was looking at Michkov's arm. If that propelled the puck into the net here with the glove, that kind of pushed it over. I don't think there's any conclusive evidence of that. Might see it a little bit better here.
There's the puck going in across the line.
Well, maybe there is a rationale for allowing the goal to go in, because
shades of Henri Richard against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, I'm sitting, we sit here, the officials in real time get one opportunity, and I love the fact that they get a chance to review it. I think it's just a great opportunity. We get so many looks at it, and to give them the same opportunity, the experts, because they are the experts, despite lots of people saying no way, but I don't agree with them. I think that they are so outstanding.
You know what? We'll take a second here. It's been difficult on all the officials. We always talk about players who have gone under COVID protocol.
After a video review, the call on the ice is a good goal. Sweden player knocks the Russian player to the net. No. Calls it a good goal.
There you go.
Yeah, he's out.
Matvei Michkov has his first of the championship. So Olsen will come out of the penalty box.
Robert Hennessy with the explanation of the goal.
So Thomas Montana is going to want an explanation. Did a great little set of hands on Michkov as he pulls it around Anton Olsen. Anyway, we talk about NHL players being in COVID protocol. Players travel on charters, and NHL referees don't. And there are a number of NHL officials in COVID protocol as well. So we wish everyone speedy recovery.
Yes, we sure do.
So it's a 4-2 game here. And similar to the pre-tournament game, they're going to readjust the time now. The pre-tournament game where they fell behind and kind of made a game of it before falling to Canada. They're trying to make this one into a game. We got Magnuson on the near side along with Michkov.
Michkov's got a little edge to him too. He doesn't let you get a shot in on him. If you're going to get one on him, he'll take two on you. He's got a real competitive fire in him.
teams are playing at an equal.
So some chippiness to this one. You have Russia, Sweden, USA. 3 very, very good teams. We expect
Goal for Team
looking
Russia,
forward to seeing
scored by number
Slovakia.
17, Maciej Michkov.
So you work on their roster, you look at their lineup, and you say, wow, that might be something to this team.
We've seen the Slovaks come to this tournament, Dennis, and you know, they play hard, they play well, they get good goaltending, and you know, but they just don't have enough skill down the lineup. It seems that like they get a power play, and if they don't get a score on their first minute or so, it doesn't really have a chance. There's some really good skill deeper into their lineup this year.
Third spot is open on Pool A. Third spot probably isn't open in Pool B, barring a major upset, because you have these two teams and the United States. But stranger things have happened. So Russia down by 2. Sweedin will carry it in, puts it towards the front of the net. Michkov is after it, scores! Michkov has another. Finds a way from behind the goal line.
That's Michkov to a T right there. Like, there's not an opportunity that he's not thinking that he can exploit. And yeah, in front of the net, it's a lot better spot. But right here, just a little quick look.
Oh, deflected in front.
But it's just off the stick of Eklund. And then it comes back up over the shoulder and down the back of Wallstedt.
So is this a high stick perhaps by...
No, I think it went off the stick of Eklund, below the goal line. He threw the puck to the net, and then it goes off the stick of Eklund, then up and over the back, the shoulder and down the back.
So
that's Michkov.
Back-to-back goals for Maciej Michkov. 41 seconds apart, and we have a hockey game. The last 4 meetings between these two teams, games have gone to extra time. And Russia's trying to extend that streak here. Niederbach puts this back into his own zone. Andrea looking for some room. Stakastad will clear it in. And Gushka, who came in to replace Eskarov here for the start of the third period, will play it around the boards. Ljungman in on the forecheck for Sweden, cleared away from him. Rudinin will bang it out to center ice. Blues will carry it back in. Blues trying to leave it there for a statement.
And number 16, Simon Demidov, time of the goal, 45-26.
So Smirnov and Demidov on the assists on that tally that makes this a 1-goal game. Ljungman giving chase into the Russian zone. Savakot plays it around, goes on and off the skates of Svechkov. Edmondson will put this back into the Russian zone. Igor Savakov in his first IIHF event. Spent some time in the KHL with Spartak of Moscow. A 1-goal game, shot right on. Volstad makes a good save off Chibrikov.
What a play by Svechkov to set him up.
Another shot from the line. Mohamedou lets it go, and Volstad got a piece of it. Tankov drops it back. Mohamedou is in with a shot. And Volstad will slow this down by hanging on to it. It's a 1-goal game here in the third on TSN.
Times, Dennis, they say, oh, players get lucky. Why is it always the good players that get lucky? There it is. I thought it was off the stick of Eklund. It went off his hip. And then it comes back into the net area, down into the net. But
goal scorers find ways, don't they?
Sometimes the odd ways, but for them, nothing is odd. They're thinking, how can we score? How can I get an advantage? How can I try to get that puck behind the goaltender over the goal line?
So Michkov wants this face-off over on the other side. But it's a face-off win nonetheless. Nadinov pulls it back. Sweedin right now just trying to protect this one-goal lead. Cleared out through center and cleared in by Magnuson.
Another example of Michkov, though, how dialed in he is. Hey, it's icy. Put the face-off over there. Like, let's try to take advantage. He's looking for the smallest of advantages, not just for himself, but for his team as well.
Semyon Demidov, who assisted on both of Michkov's goals, starts the attack for Michkov. He tried to get back for Demidov, and it's cleared out through center. Eklund is on it, plays it back into the Russian zone. Yurov waiting for it at center. Never did get to him, though. And now Yurov trying to pull it out of the pile. Nystrom is there for Sweedin. Eklund stepped into his man, and Luke is on the loose puck. And Luke will spin it across ice, and Nystrom will play it back, deflected out through center ice. Olsson, his pass was intercepted. Zeledyev will play it back into his own end. Up through center, and now some room for Yurov. He'll dump it in, played off the boards, and finally controlled by Rosine. Back into his own end, Edmundson. Pass up the middle. This ends up on the stick of Smirnov. Peter Smirnov will go cross ice. Here, Mohamedulin's pass up the middle got picked off. Rosine will carry it back in. Rosine tried to play it back to the line, intercepted by Jutnev. Jutnev carries into the Swedish zone, lets a wrister go, and Falstad will snare this and hang on to it.
That's a play in the neutral zone, too, where Grant steps up, and the Russians are just looking to get you sucked out of position, then they try to come back into the middle, and all of a sudden you're chasing back to your net, something you have to be very aware of. You're playing the Russians. They like to make you think they're going in one direction and trap you up above, then before you know it, there's a player behind you and you're in some danger.
Svechkov and Youngman, the two nines, in for the face-off. Steinman will send it into the Russian zone. Kirsanov tried to play it up the boards and got blocked. Novikov goes in after it, ran into the referee. He'll get it for Tankov, and Tankov's going to wind it up. Chibrikov had this bounced away from him. Andrea's after it. Svechkov and Chibrikov are in after him. Tankov is there as well. Tankov comes up with it, down for Chibrikov. Chibrikov wrapped up by Andrea. And Olsson will play it to the corner, or tried to. It comes off the skate of Tankov, and Sweedin will control, and now again, just getting rid of it, but this will be right on net for Igor Gushkov, who replaced Askarov here in the third. And now a lead pass for Nadinov will go for icing. Coming up on TSN 1, or the next game, that'll be coming out of Edmonton. And as Team Canada swings into action against Czechia. And then it'll be USA and Slovakia, our second game here in Red Deer. So Canada looking forward to getting this tournament going. Blue gets it back. Back with a slap shot that never got through. And now the linesman runs into Nystrom on the far side. Nystrom gets all tied up there with Demidov. Michkov. Cleared out through center ice. Michkov with the two goals here, 41 seconds apart, that took this game from 4-1 after Alexander Holtz had stretched Sweden's lead to 3 with a power play marker, a 5-on-3 power play goal. And then Michkov has pulled Russia back into the battle. Olsson trying to split the defense. Sweedin breaks that up, and this will carry him up and out of play. 8:51 left to go in a one-goal game. Sweden and Russia on TSN. World Juniors begins tonight. as they kick off the tournament action against Czechia. Coverage begins following this game only on TSN. The future of hockey lives here, but it will be on TSN 1 right off the hop, regardless of whether this game is over or not. 8:47 left to go in this one, in what has become a one-goal game. Olofsson trying to make it a two-goal game. A wraparound try that wouldn't go for him. Veledjev will clear this in. Edmundson up for Thorgesson. Olofsson is after it. Niederbach has it. Has some room. Niederbach fires, scores! Theodor Niederbach finds the far corner, and it's a two-goal lead and a big goal for Sweden.
Well, Simon Edmundson makes the play in his own zone, just a calm and making sure that he can dance through, and then he makes the play. Turnover in the neutral zone, and Niederbach comes in right away there, and that goes right through Gushkov. That is simply not a goal that can go in at that point through that spot of the goaltender. That's poor goaltending by Gushkov.
See the reaction of the Swedish bench. They were really protecting that lead. The last couple of shifts, they kind of got back into a more of an offensive attack. And you're right, it started with the defenseman Edmundson, and Niederbach finishes this one off. Had 2 goals in last year's World Championship. Played in Edmonton. Last year was supposed to be Red Deer and Edmonton. Of course, with COVID, what it was all moved to Edmonton. And bubble, no fans. Sharp angle try. Where is it? Gushkov wasn't sure where it was as Ljungman flung it from the near side boards.
The Russians have been sloppy in this game, but they've been sloppy with their discipline. They've been sloppy with their puck play. Gushkov was just sloppy, giving up that 5th goal. Now he's close to giving up a goal that shouldn't go in. Sloppy with his puck play, and Ljungman, as you said, slings it to the net.
So Thorgesson, the Winnipeg draft pick, with the assist as of now, the only assist on Niederbach's goal. It may change. Kutnev plays it back in behind his own net. Rutinen will play it to the line. In across, back in front of the net. Kutnev going in after it, cleared away. Bonamariah takes it off the near side boards, trying to send it back to the left point. This gets deflected, and Rutinen will chase it back into his own end. Just over 7 to go here in the 3rd period. Taken through center. Kutnev will send it in. To the backboard, Cheeverkopf trying to work it loose. And Louvre will get it out through center. The pass was in behind Thorgesson as he lost his footing. Mohamedulin will play it cross ice and Russia back in on the attack with Svechkov. Svechkov gets double teamed in behind the net, gets some help from Cheeverkopf. Smirnov will send it all the way around the board. Mohamedulin is in on it. Misfired on it. Begins support there from Tankov. Svechkov, Mohamedulin put that one through the legs of Olsen. And a good save by Jesper Volstad.
Lots of traffic.
TN, status bar item. Swipe down with
and
started.
banks
Stop
it off
recording
the
button.
boards out the
100 volume
center.
level.
Petrovsky will give chase, but Andrea will get there first. And Petrovsky almost with a steal.
Slovakia with the first part killed a penalty. Now they've got just over 2 minutes to see what they can do to get a goal here.
Slavkovsky the shot. That got blocked. Youngman comes back at the line. Petrovitsky the shot and a glove save by Wallstad. And he'll hang on to it.
Because you can't get two until you get one, right, Dennis? Isn't
that is correct.
The order of the math?
Yep. 48 shots now for Slovakia.
I don't know if impressive is a strong enough word to talk about the goaltending of Wallstad and the play by Slovakia in this game. I think both have been really strong.
Wasn't busy against Russia, just faced 18 shots. But he has been busy. He will earn an off day tomorrow for himself and his teammates. Sharp angle try by Demick. That comes around the boards. Lekotsi starting to make his way to the Slovakian bench. Granz will chop it up, and this will get bunted out the center ice by Stakastad. Petrovitsky on for Meshar. For Nemitz. 6 attackers now. Lekotsi to the bench. Slavkovsky. Chromiak comes out. Shot went wide. Sharp angle try off a leg. And this is grabbed off and cleared out at center. And at the empty net, it's going to go across, and it'll be an easy second empty net goal of the tournament for Daniel Youngman. And that will put this one to bed for Sweden, 3-0.
Simon Nemitz. I mean, there's disappointment and there's exasperation, but I sit here and I look at Slovakia and I don't think they have anything to hang their heads about. I mean, I know the loss is distant. They gave everything they had in this game, and they pushed Sweden hard, and without the brilliance of Jesper Wallstad, Sweden is not in a position to win this game. He was the backstopper that led them to this victory.
And right back to the first period when Slovakia outshot Sweden 13-4 and came out of it down 1. This gets banked off the boards.
Save to one. Save to your computer. Edit button. Draft blank 25. Upload. 8. Click the
Out
copy.
of center.
Loading page. One
Niederbach, who opened the scoring
Complimentary.
in this game.
Loading
Niederbach
complete. Alert
trying
summarize.
to
YouTube video
drag,
play
and the
button.
puck is loose.
That me fool to his face.
Seat sliders.
Passing and pushing with Smith.
Verholm trying to hold it in, chops it back in around the boards.
Seat slider.
On it is
Notifications button.
Kanashko. Plays it behind the net. Slavkovsky all the way down, back in behind his own net with 40 seconds left in this one to finish off day 2 of the World Junior Championship. Steinman got the only assist on that tally. Carried back in. And a chance there for Verholm. Or Verberg trying to find that in the open side. He already has a goal in this game. Had the second one for
Notifications
Sweden.
button. Sound recording. Stop recording button. Pause.
Slavkovsky. And into the empty net by Youngman. And that'll put this one away 6-3 in favor of Sweden.
It's amazing watching Simon Edvinsson, though, because he's going up the right wing boards, and it just looks like, okay, what's he going to do? A lot of defensemen are going to throw the puck. He just stops, zips it over to Youngman, and there you go with the empty net goal.